Warning, some viewers may find this video really boring, but don't worry, there's more action videos on the way. This is a review video. Anyway, enjoy. Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go on. Oh wait, you done? Amazing. And was it? It's my 2018 S3 and I'm gonna mod it, but just don't tell the wife, okay? Oh shit. Hi lovely. What? Modding? No, I love you. Anyway, purpose of today's video is all going to be about the only mod on this car, the JB4. What the hell's a JB4? Well, I'll tell you. So JB4 is a tuning box or tuning module from Berger Motorsports. Now, unlike other tuning boxes on the market, this one has a map that essentially lets you tune the car yourself. As you can see, this particular module covers a lot of different car applications. And here we can see some proven gains. I mean, 11.7 seconds on a quarter mile is a massive difference to stock. Here we've got a 65 horsepower gain, 107 Newton meters. I mean, the device is such a big bang for your buck. For the sake of £400, you're looking at anything from 80 to 90 brake horsepower gains. I have seen people get more. Obviously, if you tie this in with other mods such as a full intake and a downpipe and tweak map 6, potentially you could be looking at those gains. But the simplicity of the installation is something you can do yourself. You don't have to be a mechanic. If you're pretty handy with tools or you kind of know your way around the engine, I mean, I managed to fit mine in about 30 minutes. Although I will warn you, the charge pipe sensor going into the intercooler is a real bitch. I had to take the whole underside tray off the car to get to it. But once I did that, it was plain sailing after that. Now, if you do a quick search on YouTube, there is plenty of installation videos to help you along, and on the Berger Motorsports website there's also a handy PDF with a step-by-step guide / instructions on how to install it. So, why the JB4? Why not get it remapped? The answer to that is warranty. I mean, this is debatable. But me specifically, I chose the JB4 because I wanted to keep the warranty. Now, if I had this car remapped and I took it to Audi, and Audi were doing a service or whatnot, if they plugged it into diagnostics, even if I flashed the map back to stock, Audi could potentially find out it's been remapped, and then they log it as what they call a TD1, warranty void. So I chose the JB4 to keep the warranty. But yeah, if I took this car to Audi now for service or whatnot, 15 minutes you can take this JB4 off and it's almost undetectable. Now, this is debatable. I mean, I scoured the internet for this, but I haven't heard of anyone having a warranty void because they detected the JB4. I mean, yeah, if you leave it on, take your car for a service, then they're going to see it on in warranty. So one of the best things about the JB4 is the JB4 mobile app. So I've got hose in different area codes. Joking, Ruth, I'm joking. So you can connect your JB4 with a USB data cable you're not always going to carry your laptop around with you, and to be honest, it's a bit of a pain in the backside trying to get that cable through into the dashboard. So Berger Motorsports do a Bluetooth that connects to your phone, so when you start the app you can essentially change all your settings on the fly, which is amazing. So if you are tuning a map 6, you can stop and start the car, change a few things, you know, run a couple of logs, and yeah, tune it as you go on the fly. So another good thing about the JB4 and the mobile app is it actually has a fault code reader. So if your car is pulling faults, you can pull it up on your phone, get the code, find out what that is, which is brilliant. If you have got a downpipe and you've got the CEL light because you're not using the Lambda sensor anymore, or you haven't got a cat in there, you can remove that CEL light with the fault reader as well, which is bonus. So we'll go back to the back cave and we'll show you a few things about the JB4 mobile app. So guys, this is the JB4 mobile app. So as you can see, we've got all these gauges. It tells us what map we're in, air fuel ratio, RPM, what boost we're doing. You can change these gauges by holding down on a gauge, and you can select a whole range of different things to look at, but I keep it on ignition 1, ignition 3. So yeah, so the logging ability on it, so as you can see, I've just got the ignition on. Car's not actually started, but if the car was started and we wanted to do a log, just press the green and that will start a log. So what the logs look like, there's a couple I've done. It's just a log on map 4. So you'll be introduced with a screen that looks like this when it works. What you do is you zoom in on a particular pull you've done. So let's zoom in on this. I think this is 3rd gear, so you can see we're up to the rev range there, and then we've got all our different measurements. So at the top you've got a key, so we've got RPM in green, we've got our throttle in this orange here, and then we have our boost, and as you can see the boost is tapering down in map 4. Then you have your trims, your ignition, your target, indicated air temperature, and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty handy. So the way this comes in handy, for instance, if you're in map 6, so we'll look at settings, so you can see I'm in map 4 at the moment. These are the different maps. Now if I was in map 6, we can actually change our adjustment settings. This is our increase on boost, so this is 2 psi over 3 psi, 3.5 and so on. This is our fuel bias. Now fuel bias here is all at 100. Now the car is faster if all this fuel bias is on 0, but what that fuel bias is doing is it is increasing the mixture on your air fuel ratio. So as you're higher in the RPM, you're getting extra fuel, which is cooling the engine. I mean, one thing you don't want, if I had this on 0, yes, the car would be more powerful, faster, power, but you'd be running lean, high in the RPM, which is something you don't want to do. So yeah, so my boost safety, 27 psi. This means if the car hits that, this will go into a fail-safe mode, which is map 8, which essentially just takes everything away and puts the car back to stock. So it's a good safety feature on the JB4. And lots of other settings here which aren't really relevant to the EA888 engine, apart from the fuel loop, which I've got at 50 at the moment. That's just fuel pressure to the fuel rail. So yeah, so that's the JB4. You can also read any codes if you've got any fault codes. You shouldn't have any, touch wood. Oh, here we go, 3AD2. 3AD2. So we've got fault code here of 3AD2, which I believe is low fuel pressure. So we can change that using the FOL. JB4 comes with 8 preset maps. So we've got map 0, which is essentially stock. It doesn't make any changes to the ECU. The only thing you can do in map 0 is use the JB4 login system. So when you first put the JB4 on the car, I do recommend you start in map 0. So have a look at the logs, see what your ECU is doing, see if it's happy, have a look at your air fuel ratio, what boost you're getting, and that sort of sets the ground for the next couple of maps. So map 1 is 4 psi over stock. I mean, I would personally put 99 RON in, or 93 octane if you're in America. You don't have to, you can use 95 RON or 91 octane if you're in America. Personally, I always put the best fuel I can in my cars. You're going to notice a considerable difference. It is night and day from standard. You're probably looking at about 45-50 brake horsepower maybe increase, and you'll really notice that as you get into the high RPM. I mean, the standard car, it's no slouch, but it sort of runs out of puff you know, as you climb the revs. So then we've got map 2. Map 2 is 5 psi over stock. Now again, I recommend you use 99 RON fuel. I'm not entirely sure that you have to. It's a small increase from obviously map 1. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, when I installed JB4 I went balls deep straight into map 2. Didn't have a problem. It was absolutely fantastic. So with map 2 you're probably looking about, I don't know, 360, 365 brake horsepower, something like that. So then we've got map 3. Map 3 is 6 psi over stock. Map 3 is actually the same as map 4. The difference being map 4, again it's 6 psi over stock, but map 4 caters for the 7-speed DSG. So what was happening in map 3, particularly when you launched the car, there was a bit of hesitation, or you know, there wasn't that smooth transition between the gears, you know, as you were flat footing it. So what George from Berger Motorsports and his team did is they created map 4 and they put a taper on the boost in the high RPM, and this solved that problem. Now I use map 4. Map 4 got me 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. Not bad, eh? That's 0.7 seconds off stock. You know, for 500 quid, it's a winner. So it also got me a quarter mile time of 12.3 seconds. Again, so stock form, we're doing anything from 13 to 13.4 seconds on a quarter mile. So again, really big improvement on that. Then we got map 5. Map 5 is what they call the absolute map. It is a really intense map. So it'll take the peak boost to 25 psi, which, I mean, these engines have been proven to be able to handle that, but it is pretty full on. Now you do need bolt-on mods for that, so intake, downpipe, front mounting intercooler is probably recommended. I haven't tried map 5 because this is just stock. So then we've got map 6. Map 6 is the map that allows you to tune the car. So if you bought your JB4 direct from Berger Motorsports, I mean, this is great customer service. So you can email George at bergermotorsports.com. He'll ask you to send a couple of logs, either in map 1, map 2, and then he'll get back to you and give you what he thinks you should be running in map 6. So you can put that on the car, then whew, off you go. So then we've got map 7. Map 7 is a methanol injection map. So essentially you can use the JB4 on top of a tune, if you've got another tune, and you can use that to control meth. So if you do want some cooler intake temps, yeah, the JB4 can act as a meth controller, which bonus. So then we've got map 8. Now map 8 is what they call a valet map. So if you're taking the car through service or getting some work done, or someone else is driving the car, you don't want them to, you know, thrash the absolute gonads out of it. You know, you don't want the fast and furious apprentice mechanic, but he's taking it around the block. So what map 8 will do when you select it is it will take the car back to stock, but also reduce the boost by 50%. So they're not going anywhere really fast in it, which is absolutely amazing. So let's look at some logs. So this particular log here was on a quarter mile. So I've just snapshotted third gear, the third gear pull here. So this quarter mile I actually did in 12.3 seconds. Now the fuel bias on this particular run was set to 0. So if we can see the air fuel ratio, which is this yellow line here, you can see it's not really changing that much. What this means is as I get into the high RPM here, the car is starting to run lean, which is not good for obviously the temperature of the internals of the engine. You can see our boost here, the blue line. So again, this is map 4, so you can see that taper just before the gear change. This is the throttle, so it's not the pedal, this is the actual what the throttle's doing. And you can see this dip here is as the boost comes in on the turbo. So it's not allowing all that boost in, and that's just a safety feature on the car from its ECU. Now if we look at this screenshot here, or this log, so this log was a different pull. I had actually changed the fuel bias to 100, and as you can see, this air fuel ratio is decreasing as the revs go up, so this means the car is starting to run rich in the high RPM, and that extra fuel is also going to cool your cylinders at the same time. Now this wasn't as fast, or as the car didn't feel as powerful as it did in zero fuel bias, but yeah, for longevity and safety reasons, yeah, it's ideally you keep it at 100 bias. Now the JB4 has got a safety feature where if it does detect too much of a lean mixture, it will fault into map 8. But anyway, that's enough waffle, and let us see just how we did going across the maps. So I did a few runs in the JB4, went through different maps, used the Dragy to make some measurements, so here's a couple of videos on the differences in different maps. So guys, I hope some of you found this video interesting. Sorry for bored the pants off you. We will be doing some good action videos soon. It's a video I thought I had to do. I mean, when I first got the S3 and the JB4, I was searching for a video just like this. So hopefully if you're on the fence about getting a JB4, or you've just got one, or you've had one for a while, hopefully there would have been some tips and tricks that you can take away from you from this video. Next video coming up, we've got an exciting mod, something I wanted to do for a while. I'll show you a little sneak clip actually. I mean, look at that. We've got to get rid of that, haven't we? Yeah, we've got to get rid of that. Oh yeah, it's happening. Yeah, so it's annoyed me for so long how high the car looks from the wheel, but we're going to sort that. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Whoa. She's gonna see this, isn't she?